Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Steven and Jacqueline. Today we're going to show you how to kick up a store-bought mac and cheese and a Louisiana chicken batter mix. So let's sit back and enjoy the ride.
Well guys, our first pit stop today is to go and season up our chicken parts, and here's our ingredients.
To season the chicken, you will need 1 teaspoon black pepper, half teaspoon sea salt, 1 teaspoon complete seasoning, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, half teaspoon ginger powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon oregano, 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper.
So guys, first off we're going to start off by seasoning our chicken parts. Here I'm going in with half a teaspoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. And next in the pool I'm going in with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, another layer of flavor. And you guys know I'm all about for flavor. Next I'm going in with a half a teaspoon of ginger powder. And we have one more ingredient, and we know that we're going to kick it up a notch. So here I'm going in with 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, and this is going to add a lot of spice to it. Now that I have added all of the ingredients, I want to take my God-given hands and give this a good old mix and make sure that all those ingredients are properly well incorporated. After doing this, you want to set this aside and put it in the refrigerator and let it marinate for about 2 to 3 hours or even 4. So whilst our chicken is chilling in the fridge, let's go pick up our box of mac and cheese, and here's our ingredients that we'll need for this.
For the mac and cheese, you will need 1 box of mac and cheese, 4 strips of bacon, half of a small onion, 1 clove of garlic, salt and black pepper.
So here I have my 11-inch skillet which I've gotten from Shovelhead 8, and our first cook in it today will be bacon, of course. I'm going in with 4 strips of bacon that I gave a rough chop. Here you just want to take your spatula and just make sure and separate all those pieces of bacon and let that cook down for about 10 minutes. And in a miracle of time, you can see how our bacon has cooked down a lot. Now by our bird's eye view, we can see that the bacon needs cooking down for about another 5 minutes or so before we add our next ingredient. So our first ingredient will be going with about 1.5 teaspoons of Uncle Steve's Shake Competition Pig Powder. This has clumped up a bit on me because of the weather that we have here, and the honey and sugar has melted, but it is still good to use. I will have the link to Uncle Steve Shake's website in the description box below. And you know you can never go wrong with Uncle Steve Shake's seasonings. Well, now that the Uncle Steve Shake seasoning is properly well incorporated into our bacon, we are going to be adding 1 small finely diced onion. And we're going to let that saute for about 5 to 8 minutes. You want to turn down your stove to low and just give this a good old mix to let those onions sweat down and pick up that lovely bacon flavor. Next in the pool, I'm going in with 1 large garlic clove finely grated, and you want to let this saute until you get that beautiful garlic aroma. This should take about 30 to 40 seconds. And as soon as you start to get that wonderful garlic fragrance, you want to incorporate it with your bacon and onions and let that go for about another minute. I say it's time to get that bacon out of the skillet and into that plate. And by the way, I have our macaroni boiling in the background there. So we're moving on to the next step after this. And here we have our macaroni that has been already drained. And now I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now that you have added your butter into the macaroni, you need to give it a good old mix to make sure that all the macaroni gets coated with that lovely butter. After doing this, we're going to cut our packet of cheese powder and add it to the mix as well. And you want to give this a good old mix to make sure that all that cheese gets properly well incorporated also. And now you want to add that 1/4 cup of milk and incorporate it into your mac and cheese, and this will help give it that creamy texture that you are looking for. Now this is your basic store-bought mac and cheese that you have made here, but I'm going to kick it up a notch by adding a half a teaspoon of black pepper and a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We're going to incorporate this as well. And you know that cayenne pepper and black pepper is going to add a little more spice to it. And last but not least, this is what is going to take it to the next level. We're going to add our bacon bits that we fried up with our onions and garlic, and also that Uncle Steve's Shake Competition pig powder. This is going to take it to a whole new level, guys. So you just want to give this a final mix to make sure that everything is properly well incorporated. Now that that is done, we just want to add this into our Pyrex dish and set this aside. And I say, here's a bit of a bird's eye view of our kicked up store-bought mac and cheese. While our mac and cheese is chilling at the side, we are going to kick up our Louisiana chicken fried batter mix. You want to follow the instructions on the packet for most parts. First off, you want to add 5 tablespoons of the batter mix into half cup of iced cold water. Then add the remaining of the dry mix into a bowl. After you have done that, you want to go back to that half cup of ice cold water which you added that batter mix to and give it a good stir until everything is properly well dissolved. So guys, it was not a full pack that I used earlier on, so now I had to open a new pack to add a little bit of the dry batter mix into this bowl as well. Usually one pack would have been enough, but I had used some from that pack for a previous cook. Now this is where we're going to kick up this batter mix. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of oregano, and I'm also going to be adding some salt and black pepper to taste. Next in the pool, I'm going in with half a teaspoon of complete seasoning. I'm using Badia's complete seasoning. That seasoning is absolutely delicious. I'm also going in with 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And last but not least, I'm going in with 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And this is how I've kicked up that Louisiana batter mix. Now that all that's left to do is to give this a good old mix to make sure that all those seasonings come together. When you have done that, set that aside and take your batter mix which you mix into that cold water and add it to the chicken. This is what is going to help to coat the dry batter onto that chicken. So make sure and get that chicken properly well coated with that wet batter mix. Now that this is done, let's move on over to our stove where I have some oil preheating in an 11-inch cast iron skillet. Here I got my oil heating at about 325 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to be between that and 350 degrees. So I say it's time to start frying up some chicken. Here I have a piece of chicken that I'm going to get coated with that dry batter mix, and I'm going to add it into the oil. When adding your chicken into the oil, you want to lay it away from you so you would not get splattered with that hot oil. And as you can see, as the chicken hits that oil, it starts to sizzle away, so you know you are definitely on point. Let's get a couple of pieces of chicken coated with that batter mix and add it to the oil. You don't want to add too much of chicken to overcrowd your pan, otherwise that will reduce the temperature of the oil and you would end up with soggy chicken. And you know we don't want that because we are looking for crispy chicken. Here you can see your chicken sizzling away. You want to cook your chicken to an internal temp of 165 to 175 degrees internal. I'm just checking the temp of the oil and we're looking good so far. You want to fry your chicken about 6 minutes per side, and in a miracle of time 6 minutes has gone by and it's time to flip our chicken. And here you can see that lovely golden exterior color that we have gotten on this side. Now that we have gotten our lovely chicken all flipped over, here's a bird's eye view of how they are looking. Don't they look gorgeous? Now all you have to do is just to continue flipping that chicken on a regular basis to make sure you reach that internal temp of 165 to 175 degrees internal. Flipping the chicken regularly ensures that your chicken does not get too dark on either side. Well, our chicken has been frying for about 12 to 15 minutes, so it's time to give it an internal temp check, and we are reading at about 190 degrees internal. But this is leg and thigh and also a wing I have frying here, so you can easily get away going over that temp of 175 degrees. And your chicken will still be juicy as ever, trust me on this one. I have already removed the wing from the hot oil, so I'm just checking the internal temp of the thigh and leg, and I say it's time to remove the leg and the thigh from that hot oil. And here's a close-up of that chicken thigh. Doesn't it look like a thing of beauty? And now that we have gotten the first batch done, you don't need to really see me doing the second batch. I'm just going to give you a bit of a bird's eye view to see what's going on with the second batch. and here they are, looking lovely and golden brown. When frying chicken breast or cooking chicken breast on the whole, you want to be a little bit more meticulous on the internal temp. And here we are reading at about 167 degrees internal. So I say it's time to get that chicken out of that hot oil. And out goes the last piece of chicken from that hot oil. You want to make sure and place your chicken pieces on a wire rack to make sure that all that oil drains out thoroughly from that chicken. That will ensure that you have crispy skin. So guys, there's nothing left for us to do. So let's sit back, fasten our seatbelts and get ready for a drive-by. Let's go!
So boys and girls, here's our delicious kicked up version of a fried chicken and mac and cheese, and it was so tasty. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications for more videos. See you all on our next cooking journey, and we're out until next time.